Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a talking point because I will continue to push Titanic model heresy. So, we've seen Necrons still doing okay in the meta with Awakened Dynasty. Hypercrypt Legion got hit again, then again, and now another time that last go round. And Star Shatter Arsenal got hit. People are still playing that. But with things like Stompas, there's been two tournaments with Stompas popping up and topping Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights. I've started to wonder, hey, what happened to Titanic? Right? Can it do it? Can it come back in any capacity? And naturally, the ones that I kind of care about is the Titanic things coming out of Necrons. Besides the Stompa, I think we all like a Stompa, right? Um, but going through it, part of me wanted to talk about how you could still take it in obeisance phalanx, right? The -1 damage, and nano assembly protocols. That's still fine. Even Star Shatter, there's a thing, literally a thing, where you can still get the +1 to hit versus things on an objective. So that's cool. But why not go back to actually putting it in spots? Because Hypercrypt, the only thing that changed is the amount of units that you can put in places. And I know the thing that you're wondering is like, well, first off, I'm not using that many points for things. And that's not true. The Necrons list, triple DDA Silent King, that's half your list right there. So I think there's enough reason to say that maybe the Monolith can come back out and the Tesseract Vault. The other thing, just because we're here, I did at least wonder what about the obelisk, if ever? Because at the end of the day, it is still T13 2 up save, 24 wounds for 300 points. Anti fly 4 up, sustained hits 2 on the ranged weapon. That's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. 300 points of T13. Yeah, that's something that people have to shift. And here, if you do have an obelisk, right, that you're just like, well, I want to do something with it, it does have Gravitic Pulse. That at the start of your opponent's movement phase, you can select one enemy unit within 18 inches of and visible to this model. Until the end of the turn, have the move characteristic of models in that unit and have advancing charge rolls made for that unit. In addition, if it can fly, when it moves, roll 1d6 on a 4 up, it takes d3 mortal wounds. And if we are playing Hypercrypt Legion with this, you can Cosmic Precision it into a spot. They excluded monsters, but not Titanic, or else that would like throw off the entire flavor of everything here. Put it 6 inches away and be annoying like Rodigus. Also, again, just if you want to do something, you have entropic dampening, where if it gets shot at within 18 inches, your opponent has to take hazardous tests on those weapons. So, it is 300 points. It's cheaper than a monolith. Not saying that you would opt for an obelisk before the monolith and Hypercrypt Legion. Just saying. 18 inches, that seems to be a golden number right there. And this isn't bad Overwatch. You have 4 Tesla spheres. That's 24 attacks, hitting on 3s, sustained hits 2, strength 7, 0 AP, damage 1, anti-fly 4 up. That's like not the worst Overwatch possible, right? So that's just if you are trying to do something with an obelisk. We've probably talked about that before, but while we're having the Titanic conversation again, might as well address it. But coming back to the ones you actually will probably use, the monolith. Still not that bad. Honestly, I completely forgot it had the particle whip. Blast, devastating wounds, 3d6, hitting on 3, strength 8, AP 1, damage 2, devastating wounds. Now, going to that part as well, was thinking about again application for things. So, everybody loves their Awakened Dynasty right now, right? Phasal Subjugator is an aura, 35 points, while a friendly Necrons unit that isn't a character unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, +1 to the hit roll. So, you can Monolith, your Necrons infantry unit next to your. Sorry, I guess I should be clear. You can Eternity Gate the Necrons infantry unit that has Phasal Subjugator on it next to your Monolith, give it +1 to hit, and then, even better, because, this was the index one, so it had to remain generic, Protocol of the Conquering Tyrant. One Necrons unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a unit within half range, reroll a hit roll of 1. Well, the Monolith has Deep Strike. And Deep Striking 9 inches away is less than half or 24-inch range on things like a Particle Whip or your choice of Death Rays or Gauss Flux Arcs. So, lethal hits rapid fire 3 on those two, so you're going up to 6. 6 hitting on 2s with Phasal Subjugator, 611, and you do that 4 times over, re-rolling hits, hitting on 2s. Yeah, that's not a bad package if we ever want to explore putting a Monolith back into a list. I just don't think it would be the worst thing to go into Awakened Dynasty. But coming back over to Crypt Legion, you got reduced down to 2 units. And shockingly, Catan are not being taken anymore. So, and I say shockingly as in, who would have ever thought that would happen? Like, besides price point, they're like still a Catan and annoying. So, like, you can still take Transcendent Catans, but we're not doing it yet. Anyway, I say all that to say that with the Crypt Legion, you can still take Transcendent Catans that can teleport. You can still take the Monolith to do its thing. You can still teleport other things with Crypt Legion, and that means you can slap down an Obelisk or a Tesseract Vault somewhere in Crypt Legion. Now, in Obeison's Phalanx, it'd probably be better because you already have the 4-up invulnerable save. You don't need to slap on but the Quantum Deflection for the Tesseract Vault because it already has it. But, still to the same point that we had earlier for the Obelisk. I know it wasn't much of a point, but, to the point. You can still do Entropic Dampening if you want, and you can still Cosmic Precision it. And Tesseract Vault has pretty good weapons. We're looking at Cosmic Fire mainly. Well, not mainly. Cosmic Fire sometimes. Looking at Ignores Cover Devastating Wounds Torrent. 3d6. 621. That's good for the Overwatch thing we were talking about, putting it somewhere, and I dare you to try to move. Antimatter Meteor, and Times Arrow seems to be Times Arrow surprised me with the amount of times I see people take that over Cosmic Fire. Antimatter Meteor, Blast, Devastating Wounds, Indirect Fire, D6+3, hitting on, well, Indirect Fire, you're hitting on 4s. But, hitting on 3s, Strength 10, AP 3, Damage 3. Like, we're looking at still good things. It's 425 points, but, again, all of this, you could say, well, do I want 2 DDAs? Do I want a Tesseract Vault? Who knows? Do you want the Silent King? Do you want the Monolith? You can still do both. The Silent King, still pretty good here. Still pretty good here. And, Silent King, if you want to do some funky shenanigans, we're seeing Silent King still pop up in Awakened Dynasty. I'm just saying, you can still do a lot of things with the Silent King and a Monolith for what's going on in the modern day. Ghost Ark, you're not taking it for the transport capacity, but if you bring up the Ghost Ark, move the infantry into, like, you can just leapfrog across the board with some dumb shit between a Monolith, a 20-man brick of Necron warriors, the Ghost Ark to help with that. Sure, you want to bring a reanimator, maybe. Yeah, possibly. Bring a reanimator, get it out there too. Of course, not saying that you teleport all these things because Monolith is only infantry. I'm just saying the rest of them have okay enough mobility to just be more annoying. So, all of this to say, Monolith, Tesseract Vault, Obelisk, maybe, right? What happened to the Titanic out of I don't want to say the OG Titanic, but they had us there for a minute with the monoliths, and then people brought out Tesseract Vaults for like a month in obeisance. That was cute. I like that. Still like it. This also video came out of me going, well, I was really happy that obeisance finally got fixed with the Silent King. Is it worth trying again? And I don't know. To be determined. But just saying. Maybe Titanic can play again in everybody's face. We're looking at Deep Strike for two of them. One that has a 4-up invulnerable as the trade-off. T13 on two of them. Like, T13, 20-something wounds. Scary damage output. People are bringing Titanic. Because Titanic isn't that bad. Okay? There's just things to do. So, wondering if the Necrons will get behind that anytime soon. Not saying that they need to, because Awakened Dynasty is doing the do, but, that's food for thought for today. So, hey, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.